bowling animations have gone crap. Like, they weren't always crap, right? Sometimes, like, say if you rolled a split, you'd see like a bowling ball with an axe struck down the thing, and then like literally chop a bowling pin in half, and then it'd be like, wah, wah.
Yeah. Or the little aliens. Yeah, right.
Yeah, or like, you know, I don't know, like you got 8, and then next thing you know, like you see 8 sticks of dynamite strapped to a fucking bowling pin, and he goes and blows up his mates. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
Like, it used to be like funny and a little bit brutal.
Yeah.
Right. Now it's literally like, so me and Celeste went bowling Friday, and it's fucking miserable now. Like, it's literally like you just get number 8 appear.
What is that shit?
Like, honestly, guys, sort it out. Like,
I remember little aliens like as cowboys shooting off.
the cowboy. Do you remember any of this, Dan?
Yeah, to be fair, I know you've kind of explained it.
Yeah,
I kind of agree.
Yeah, like, so when was the last time you guys went bowling?
Probably when we all went bowling.
When we went bowling, right?
A few years ago, right?
That was before they did it up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was it? It was before they did up the local bowling arena. We can't mention them because they haven't sponsored us.
They had the laser tag there.
Yeah, no, they have completely. There's an escape room there now.
Oh, dang.
And so, you know where used to be the arcade used to be in the corner, and the desk to get your shoes and shit were there. Well, I think COVID has killed the bowling shoe industry because they just let us go in our trainers.
Yeah.
Which I think threw me off my game because I couldn't do that weird little foot flick.
Yes.
You know what I'm on about.
I bowl better when wearing someone else's shoes.
Yep, that's it. Uncomfortable leather clown shoes make you a better bowler. Something that looks like you've kicked Harley Quinn up the arse. Right. Anyway, so the point remains, they've done up the bowling alley in our local area, and fucking hell, it's super cool and high tech, but they've really botched the animations.
That's gutting.
It's guttering.
I'm glad you got it. Welcome to another episode of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild?
The show we were too lazy to pitch to TV.
The podcast game show where two friends argue about the third's most burning and sometimes pointless questions in order to get a much-needed point in our season-long contest.
In some rounds, the two answerers don't always get to choose which side of an argument they're fighting for, which leads to some quick thinking and often has them mainly persuading themselves, but more importantly, the questioner to believe in what they're saying.
In other rounds, the answerers get a more open question where they can be far more creative with their choices, but they only get a short amount of time, and whatever they say first, they must stick with, no takebacks.
Our special round for Season 1 is Round 3 Fight, where the questioner will pick a universe from which the answerers must pick a character within it, and they must convince the questioner that their character will win in a one-on-one fight to the death.
That's the game.
Well done, Dan.
Okay, we're back with another episode of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild. We just straight from our pilot. It's been good, right?
Yeah, it's nice that we feel like we've actually got enough content that we can do episode 2. And the feedback that we've had from friends and family and the wider public has been good so far. Like, everyone seems to be really happy with the idea. You know, so hopefully we can kind of improve and tweak the format a bit as we go along, but it'd be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, I'm here with myself, Kirk, James, and Dan, the main hosts of the shows.
You mean Captain Kirk, The Freight Train, and Smokey D.
Exactly.
So we sound like really bad 90s radio DJs. You're here with Captain Kirk and Smokey D.
That's like a band name. Captain Kirk and the Smokey D's.
You just need one of those soundboards like choo choo every time someone calls in.
What does smoke sound like?
So, with our new fancy intro, everyone now knows the rules.
Yep.
Without us having to painfully explain it twice, which is what we've been doing in the last episode.
Yeah, well, you see, this is the joys of a newer podcast, is that we can automate things.
Yep.
You know, now that we've got through the pilot, which I was so happy with the name of, by the way. We can now start speeding these things up and we can go straight into it because everyone knows the rules of the game.
Absolutely. And let's go straight into it. James, you're first to be the questioner.
I think I have a closed question for you, gentlemen. So I would need the coin of truth.
A coin of truth.
So we've just lost the coin again.
Dropped, and that sound you heard was it hitting the mics, Dan.
So for those of you that don't remember, after last week, we lost the coin halfway through the episode. Hopefully we won't do that again.
We still haven't found it.
Today's coin is a lovely 2016 10 pence piece. You know, one of those ones that has like the 2.5 lions on it, and you kind of put them together and they make a pound.
Yes, you know
what I mean?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
pre-COVID coin.
So My question for you, lovely gentlemen, is: would you rather speak every language or be able to speak to every animal? Kirk, heads or tails?
Tails.
And if you get tails, what are you going for?
If I get tails, I'm going to go for every language.
Okay. So tails, every language. That is tails. So Kirk, you are arguing for the ability to speak to every language. Dan, you're going to tell me why you'd rather speak to every animal. Fire away, gents.
I mean, both of these are pretty damn good. I'd be happy with either.
I mean,
sure.
either of them is a superpower, but I want you to explain why which one's better.
Every language is cool in terms of it's very useful and that kind of thing.
You can make money off it.
You can make a lot of money off it. But do you know what else you can make money off? Talking to animals. No one else can do that. You'd be the only one.
It's unique. That's
it is
true.
very unique. Also, I'm having a hard time not wanting the other one, but also not wanting to trade because I like both. I really like both. I think, can I have both?
No.
Rip.
No, that's see. This is the opposite, isn't it? Is last week we were discussing, and it was like a really difficult choice because you wouldn't really want either when we were talking about the time loop one.
Yeah.
But then this one, it's like, well, actually, shit, this is a
There's
good
pros
scenario.
to both, but we got to try and make you go with one of us.
Yeah. I put it this way, right? I'm on my character select screen right now, and I'm picking my traits.
Oh yeah.
I like that. That's a good way to look at it. Okay, cool. Well, we talked about money. For sure, money makes the world go round, and around the world are different languages. So I'd like to be able to speak every language and do trade and make money in every single language. And with animals, okay, like it would be cool to like talk to wild animals. That'd be interesting. But then again, what the fuck are they going to talk about? I've lost my nuts.
You could learn.
Sorry.
You could learn a lot from them. Like,
I guess
you could be the next great biologist because you're the only one that knows truly what the animal is
Dr.
thinking.
Dolittle style.
Literally, like you could have this whole assumption about what the behaviors of this animal are, and it could be scientifically proven. And you could just go up to the animal and be like, "Do you do this?" And they go, "Nah." Nah, you're wrong. You go, well, I'll write that down. Everyone will know now.
Like there's a bear sitting there, and you're like, "Do you hibernate in the winter?"
No,
Fuck off. I'll just have a wank.
no.
How can I ask how Dan is talking to animals? Is it telepathic?
Squeak,
What is
squeak,
this?
Squeak, squeak.
I see. I imagine it Emperor's New Groove style, where Kronk can speak to
So I just
the
start
squirrel
making
like squeak, squeak, squeakity, squeak, 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 squeakity. But no, like it's a weird one, isn't it? Because then you would have to be able to make noises that I don't think the human body could make.
Right.
But then again, maybe that's the skill.
That's the skill. I'm pretty sure there's some languages that I can't make that. My body can't make that noise. That's
Can you roll your R's?
there
There you go. You just sound like a cat right away.
you go.
So a disadvantage, I think, to Dan's one is you'd end up going looking.
Who's going to believe you?
What?
Well, like who's going? You could be like that squirrel. That squirrel's my boy.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But then again, I guess you could prove it. But
Yeah,
what I would
you'd
say,
have to have there'd be a lot.
No,
of
yeah,
scientific
there'd be an
data.
easy way to prove it because you could literally bring your cat and be like, right, cat, I want you to spin around 3 times and jump up and down, and the cat will do it. And
No,
you're like,
because
"Oh, yeah."
cats are dickheads.
cats are dickheads.
Oh, okay, maybe not cat. Get some other
Your dog.
animal.
But dogs understand English.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but not like that.
That's, some do.
And then Kirk could get a Russian dog and just speak to it in Russian.
That was going to be one of my points, which was the fact that all animals around the world know a certain amount of language. For instance, my girlfriend's dog is Polish. I have to speak to it in Polish. It's ridiculous, but it understands Polish.
Yeah,
And
but
so
you can't-
if
you
I can
can't
speak every
understand it.
language, but if I can speak every language, I can still control every dog. Right.
Okay.
That's very specifically dogs.
Okay,
There's
so
not a
sure.
lot- like, there's not a lot of animals. Like, I don't think, for example, deer can understand.
No, that's true. That's true.
You also use the word control. Like, you're going to go up to some random dog and be like, I can speak your language. You do what I say.
Well, dogs
No.
that are trained are going to go. If I said
Well, not
their
necessarily.
word
'cause-
for sit, they're going to think I'm going to get a treat. I'm going to sit, and off they go.
Not always.
Not always, but
They-
most
they-
time. But I can speak to some animals in every language.
I think
is what I'm saying.
I think the way it works is they respond to tone. So if you do it in a good enough tone that matches their owner,
That's true.
then
Yeah,
it's fine.
That's very true. Because, like, with Kylo, my cat, I'm only saying that. You guys all know Kylo. I'm just saying that for the audience. With Kylo, like, if I speak to him, I'm like, hello, are you all right? Then he's like, oh, I'm going to pay attention to you. Whereas if I'm like, Kylo, he'll bolt off because he's
Yeah.
scratching the wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think that's because do animals have can you really say that animals have a sense of right or wrong? Or do they just have a fear of like the bigger thing is going to tell me off?
I think
Right.
for dogs, I think a bit of both.
Yeah.
But for other animals, like if you try to tell off a shark,
Well, how are you going to tell off a shark? Because you can speak to sharks right now.
yeah,
So what are you going to do?
don't eat people, naughty boy.
And he's going to be like,
I have to listen.
says you.
It's like, I don't do that. Not many people get attacked by sharks. Facts.
And then what happens if he tries to eat you?
Well, he won't.
Why not?
I'll tell him no.
Now, this is the thing I was going to say is...
I'm not going to go and talk to a shark. That's not my first priority.
The problem is...
How do you talk to a shark if you're underwater? Because like either you're at SeaWorld and he's in the other side of the bubble and you're like, hello, and he's like, all right, mate. Or you have to go snorkeling or something in shark infested water. Everyone should be like, Dan, Smokey D, don't go out there. The water will put the flames out. And you'll be like, no, don't worry, boys, I've got this. And you go out and be like, oi, Jaws, sod off.
But this is what I'm trying to make, right, is it'll get to the point where I'm imagining news headlines. Now, news headlines for me is man speaks every language, does incredible things, and can speak to everybody.
World peace, maybe.
Can orchestrate world peace between all the languages. Great.
Can I just raise the point? Like, who cares?
Okay, fine.
Like,
he likes
no
this.
offense. If this, like one of my teachers, like, I can speak 7 languages. I don't care.
Okay,
Like,
cool,
who cares?
cool. Okay, cool, fine,
Well, you
fine.
can speak to animals. That's wicked.
Yeah, okay.
You're kind of weird.
I'll give you that. There is wider republic appeal.
Sure.
Because you immediately, if you are one of those people, like, how many languages are in the world? Like 500?
Right.
Way more than that.
You reckon?
There's loads.
There's got to be like, not that many.
It's like a few hundred in like India alone.
Yeah,
isn't
like different
there?
dialects too.
Okay, we're talking dialects. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But then like, okay, so you're talking like, oh, you go up and say, oh yeah, what's your special skill? Well, I can speak every language in the world. Like, okay, cool, fair enough, useful skill. Maybe get you ahead in the business world. Maybe make some money as like one of those UN translators. Don't know. You could literally do the whole meeting. Like, it wouldn't be like the Russian
They only
bloke
need
has a
one.
Russian one.
You'd be saving them money.
There is. I'll be making money. That's the thing, right? But here's the thing, right? There are people out there that can speak many, many languages, and they're not targets from anyone. For the one person in the world who can speak to all animals, he's going to be a friggin' target for these serial killers that love a prize, right? They're going to come after you, and that's what the headline's going to be.
I couldn't imagine I could imagine hostages.
I'm not worried about that.
I can imagine like somebody's going to take you hostage, like some like evil like
Not
super villain.
if I befriend a tiger.
Yeah, but like think about like your classic Austin Powers Dr. Evil.
Oh, I see. And then
he's like, I have sharks with laser beams attached to their heads. And he's like, I'm going to keep this guy hostage and make it and torture him.
Yes.
Into becoming my like animal controller to make a world like an army of
20 quid and I'll do it.
That's the thing. Money talks, doesn't it?
Yeah. What? He doesn't have to torture me. I'll do it.
You'd make an army of beavers for 20 quid.
Yeah. Depends on the animal.
Okay, so like I'm gonna up the stakes here, right? Because I don't even think I'm any closer to deciding. 1 minute I'm leaning one way, and then there's a good counter argument there.
20 quid for a beaver,
right? let's say, I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb. DC is struggling a bit more than Marvel right now, so I'm going to say DC are recruiting you boys for the next film. What's your superhero name? How are you going to sell yourself to DC as a superhero who can talk every language or speak to animals?
I'm going to be Beast Boy, but in between Beast and Boy, in brackets, going to say Talker.
Beast Talker Boy.
Yeah.
Not like...
But the talker's silent.
Beast Speaking Boy. or like Can Talk To Beast Boy.
Yeah.
Okay, but DC is going to go, well, we've already got Aquaman. He's pretty good with all these...
Oh, that's just fish.
Yeah, but that's quite a lot.
Like, Aquaman could become his sidekick.
No offense, but speaking another language isn't a superpower. Speaking to animals technically is.
Imagine, like, think of, like, the stereotypical movie scene. It's the end of the world. The superheroes have come fighting. And everyone's like, we need to run away. What do we do? Kirk could be in control of, like, managing that. Because he could be like, we need to run away in every language.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking more on the, let's break the fourth wall here. Okay.
To be fair, if you need to be told to run away from something.
Yeah, but he could be organising a relief effort.
Yeah, for sure. But let's break the fourth wall. DC are struggling. They're not making enough money, right?
Yeah.
Because all of their superheroes are based in Gotham in New York, right? The problem is, so that's the problem, right? If I can speak every language, I'm going to be called the linguist.
I like it.
And I can be appealing in every single country and sell a hell of a lot of films.
Yeah, like you'll just have to do like a karate class.
I can overdub myself in every language.
So when they film you, instead of filming it and then doing like the Russian subtitle version,
Yeah, it's just me.
or the French dub, you're just there doing like, oh, can we film that scene again, Kirk?
Exactly, and we can do it 200 times.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
See,
but also,
what are you going to do? Woof?
I would like to bring up a point I brought up earlier, Mr. Linguist. Who cares? Like, who's going to look at a comic and go, oh, this guy can speak every language. This guy can fly with laser beams. I'm going for that one.
Yeah, but you see,
Against the guy who can talk to dogs.
Like, I'm not going to lie.
And every other animal.
I'm not going to lie. When I started this question, I was leaning heavily towards the language one.
Uh-huh.
And I think you were as well, Kirk, based on what you decided for it.
Yeah.
Dan seems relatively neutral. But one thing that we've not established, because neither of you have asked me, is, are we working under the assumption that animals have enough sentience that they can actually have a conversation?
Right.
Because realistically, how do you know
I was talking about this earlier. I was thinking, when I was asking what they're going to talk to you about, where's my nuts? That's what I was trying to get at.
But are you even going to get that level of conversation? Like, you're thinking of like Dr. Dolittle level, right?
Do you think they're like
it could
just
literally just
whirring around in there?
Like, feed, safety,
Yeah.
mate, feed, safety. Mate.
Yeah, but I think it even if it is that, you can gather more information than you would if you didn't have that. Like, my whole point on it is that if I were to have that ability, then I would definitely go down the route of science and just become a scientist, a biologist.
Yeah,
but would Dan go crazy? Because
I'm already halfway there.
but would you actually go insane?
I'm going to die at 50.
But
let me speak to a squirrel.
3 years too soon.
But would you go insane?
Maybe the ability to speak to squirrels gives him those extra 3 years that he so desperately needs.
Actually, it's funny because squirrels was I was going to go with. You go for a nice walk with your girlfriend in the park, right? And you're thinking, and it's a serious conversation. Okay, something's happening here, but you can't concentrate because 15 squirrels behind you are screaming, and all you can do is tune into this because you know what they're saying.
You don't know me. you have no idea who I am, do you? You could be talking like right now at me, and I wouldn't be listening if I wanted to.
Dan's been zoned out for like the last 3 minutes.
You clearly don't know me.
But 15 squirrels just like behind you screaming.
Easy
Easy
to tune out.
Okay, well, the average person would go insane at that. They wouldn't be able to turn it off.
I'm not the average person.
Go on then. Closing arguments. Convince me, boys.
I would ask a panther if it could kill a raccoon in the wild.
Oh, no! He's used the title of the damn show.
Yeah.
When that happens in films, I lose my shit.
Yeah. He said it. He said Superman 2, The Art of Transfusion.
Roll credits.
Well, speaking every language, right, I'd work at GCHQ. Okay, and I'd make a hell of a lot of money, and I would just live my life to the fullest. But also, I'd be a bit terrified, not going to lie, because I'd know everything. But I'd also know everything. So I'd be pretty in control. I'd probably try and become a world leader.
You'd be pretty good at espionage as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So I can go either way.
Okay.
We could both be evil geniuses with these powers, but I think it'd be more fun to have human interaction with that genius than it would be to have talk to a dog or a tiger or something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to judge it, and I think I'm going to say, considering that I am now swayed into pretty much a neutral position after already heavily leaning one way, I've got to give the point to Dan this time.
Oh man,
I'm flexing. In case
he also used the title of the podcast at his closing argument.
I didn't know that was going to kill me.
Saw an opportunity, I took it.
It's a good question though. I like that one.
That was a good question. I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
I like that one.
Yeah,
I'd be happy with either.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. But then again, this game is all about choosing something quickly, right? And I was like, humans for sure. Humans for sure. And I was like, when he started talking, I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So that puts Dan in the lead with 2 points, with us just on the one, James. And it's my turn to ask the question next.
Okay, go on. Throw it at me. I'm ready to knock Dan off his top spot.
So it's really interesting you asked this question, James, because my one is so close, but it's an open-ended version kind of thing. So let's say you both had Dan's skill.
Right. Okay.
If animals could talk to you, which one would be the biggest douche?
Okay.
Biggest douche.
So when you're talking about the biggest douche, you mean the rudest, like Jim Bro, like
Chimpanzees.
Straight up, he's already said chimpanzees. He's going chimpanzees.
Like, so you're talking like Jim Bro, you're talking like, general inconsideration, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
100% wasps.
Oh, wasps. There. That's a good one.
Do they count as animals? Because I know some people
Yes,
say
absolutely.
insects aren't animals.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I've won this, right? Wasps.
Wasps.
Those guys are arseholes, right? They don't even pollinate, right? Or they do, but kind of as a side effect. Like, they go around stabbing bees, not even making honey.
They just roll up to bees with a shank.
They're like the roadmen of the insect world. They're like, yes, bruv, come at me, fam. You want to come near me, I will shank you. And you're like, right, okay, sod off wasp. But he's like, nah, give me some of that relentless, because you've got an open can or whatever. And then you tell it to sod off, and then it comes back and it just goes for you, and it just goes for you for no reason as well, right? And then what happens? What happens is it doesn't die like a bee. A bee, at least, it's like an honorable death. It's like a kamikaze thing, right? That bee's like, I'm going to kill myself to protect the hive. It is literally not even a life or death situation. It's a death or death situation, right? Wasps pull that stinger out and go for round 2. And they'll sting you again. And then they do that thing. I don't know if this is real, but I'm sure it is. A certain time of the year, wasps get they stop buzzing as they're getting ready to hibernate or some shit.
And you can't even hear them coming.
No, it happened to me one time when I was living at my parents'. I turned my bedroom light switch on. I thought I'd got an electric shock because I felt this really sharp stabbing pain in my neck. And I was like, ah. And the next thing you know, I look out and there's just a wasp listing off. The Millennium Falcon in Star Wars when he says, I know some maneuvers. And he just goes to the left. He was just like, yep, I'm done. Yeah, it was almost like the Grand Theft Auto music, like the
he's on hydraulics.
Yeah, like it was low riding out. Not a buzz in the world.
Wow. Okay, so James has gone wasp for the biggest douche. If they could talk to you, Dan.
If they could talk to you,
yep. Chimpanzee.
Chimpanzees will engage you in fecal warfare if given the opportunity. And if they could talk to you, they'd mock you about it.
See, I always thought of a chimpanzee's the ones that will rip apart a human chest if they can.
They'll rip your face off with their teeth.
Are they like that? Really?
Yeah,
because I thought they were
they're incredibly violent animals towards each other.
I thought,
and they will just eat anything.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were genetically the closest to us, though.
Yes, which is why.
Are they?
Yeah.
Is it not orangutans?
No,
orangutans were.
My dad's ginger.
Either way.
My dad's ginger, so maybe him.
Maybe. But also, that raises my next point, is they're so genetically close to us, and I think humans are the biggest douchebags.
Right.
That, they're just the next step.
Imagine a chimpanzee named Ryan.
There probably is one in a zoo somewhere named Ryan, and he's the worst.
And a wasp named Paulie.
Paulie?
Yeah, like Italian American. Paulie.
Oh, Paulie.
Well, not Chad.
Oh, Chad the wasp. Giga Chad wasp.
Giga Chad. No, that's a hornet.
So James has said how his wasp would be like a London roadman.
Yeah.
Right, that's what he would speak like. What would a chimpanzee speak like?
I imagine like Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Walking in with his arms.
They walk like Conor McGregor. You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing when I throw my shit in your face. That was a shit.
You started going Scottish.
Go on then, you do it.
No.
All I can say in Conor McGregor's voice is, you'll do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
okay.
what, yeah, they that's it.
So let's work on James's analogy of the douche being the gym bro, right? What gym equipment is your animal hugging?
Oh my god!
Whatever they could throw at you.
Could you imagine a little tiny wasp doing bench press?
Wasp has got.
But the thing is, as well, a wasp would hog it because a wasp has 6 legs. So he could do 3 bench presses.
I think
wouldn't do a leg press?
Wouldn't a wasp do some kind of like the what's that thrust one to get his stinger going? When they sit still and their little stinger goes in and out.
See, no, because you know what the wasp mentality is? The wasp wouldn't use the equipment, right? The wasp would just buzz around all of the equipment, distracting everybody.
He'd take the one that you've got.
And trying to get in, like, you know, the people would be there using the what's it called, the stair climber thing, or the rowing machine, and he'd be there and he'd just be like, zzz, zzz, what you saying, bruv? Zzz, oi, get off. Zzz. And he'd just be doing that the whole time, and you know he wouldn't wipe the machine down.
He's the one spotting you on your PB and lifting too early on purpose.
He's the one who tried to become a personal trainer but just didn't have the people skills.
And Dan, what's a chimp hogging?
I don't know why, but I'm just picturing a chimp on a rowing machine.
I mean, they've got an advantage because their arms are so
Yeah.
big. They wouldn't actually have to draw quite as far, would they? Or would it be worse for them?
I feel like the chimps would be the ones like taking photos in the mirror.
Is yours one of these?
Angry
whilst throwing shit?
getting angry at you because you've walked past the mirror to get to your lock.
Yeah, when they're filming themselves and they're getting angry at you because you walked across their camera.
Yeah.
Is there a degree of douchiness between a normal chimp and one of these chimps with alopecia?
All the chimps with alopecia.
Yeah. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
But no, because they look much more aggressive. And I went to a zoo not long ago. I think it was Twycross Zoo. And they had a few chimps, or at least one with alopecia. And they just said what an absolute dick he was. Like, to the chimps. He would just be in control. And because they have alopecia, that's the thing. Because they have it, they know that they'll be seen as weaker. So they, but
is
the
that
same.
Real? Because can chimpanzees recognize themselves in the mirror?
It's genetic war paint, is what it is.
But they make themselves look tougher. But then it also goes the other way because their muscles are on show. They are actually seen as more intimidating.
So
that's probably why.
So they think people are going to bully them.
Right.
Or they think other chimps are going to bully them. But they're actually scared.
Yeah.
Isn't that the mentality of all bullies and therefore all douches?
It's true.
They're scared of being bullied, so they bully instead.
And on the other side of that, the wasps, right? Now, okay, go on.
So the thing for me is wasps, they're a collective, right? So you might get Chad.
I feel like wasps don't have thought behind what they do.
Yeah, but we're assuming sentience at this point.
They're just driven.
They're going to the gym.
and they can talk.
But it can.
Right.
Like, people don't have thought behind what they do.
Guaranteed, right? Wasps will all come to the gym on mopeds.
Revving outside. Yeah, they're already making the rev.
And they'll have drilled a hole in the exhaust to make it louder, even though it's only a 50cc, right? But on top of that, you know, you're walking down a dark alley in town on your way back from maybe the gym. You see one wasp. You know, there's going to be a group of wasps around the corner.
Well, don't chimps usually attack in a group as well? If there's a chimp, you're going to know there's another chimp around the corner.
Chimps don't have built-in shank split. Do they still say shank? Is shank still?
I think so.
Is shank still a roadman term?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. I haven't heard anyone say it. Like, I don't know the last time I was threatened with a knife. So
yeah, that's true. I once saw a kid down the road from here outside a shop once, and he asked if I wanted to buy some weed, and I was like, this was with a group of mates like maybe 10 years ago, and we looked at him and he was like 7 or 8, right? And we were like, what are you on about? Why have you got weed? Like, you shouldn't be selling weed, you're like 8. And he was like, Led, I'm a road man. All I got in my man bag is weed and a shank.
And that's the wasp.
Yeah, and that's the wasp.
Right there. I guess one more thing to add to the wasp thing is, you said earlier how they just go around killing things because they can. But isn't that the point of a wasp? That is their point of evolution, and their point in the animal kingdom is they are control for other animals. They're meant to take out things. Otherwise, things would just override.
Do you know what's a really, really douchebag move on a chimpanzee's part? I'm pretty sure I've seen this story. Could be lying, but it'll work in my favor. Getting like domesticated and like living in someone's house, wearing a nappy, fully just like hoovering and,
right.
Just living chill, little chimp roommate. And then one day your owner does something you don't like, so you literally kill them. Like, you snap their neck.
I'm not seeing anyone actually get killed by their adopted chimp, but I did see a YouTube video
pretty sure it might not have been their adopted chimp. It might have been someone else's.
Uh-huh.
But just imagine being that petty that you go, you didn't give me a banana. There goes your face.
Yeah, but a wasp will literally just come up to you and be like, I'm going to sting you. There's no even like, you didn't give me a banana. But
is that being a douchebag? Both of these situations, to be fair, is it being a douchebag or just pure psychotic?
To add to your story, I did once see a YouTube video talking about chimps and like weird chimp stories. Don't know why. I just get down YouTube rabbit holes. We've all done it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one story about this woman who domesticated a chimp, like from a zoo, got rejected by the wild, blah, 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 blah. And this chimp thought it was people, as they are wont to do at times, but they have like the intelligence for toddler. But obviously then they grow up and they start like getting like natural things. She started shagging the vacuum cleaner. This chimp.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
They came home and found this chimp humping the vacuum cleaner.
Wow.
And several opportunities.
Wow.
Just like,
That's
what?
pretty douchey.
Yeah.
But wasps also, here you go, here's the main thing, right? Wasps make nests in your house. Is that not the ultimate douchery, right? They don't pay rent.
Can you define douchebag?
They come in, they come into this house, right? They're not this house. We don't have wasps in this house, thankfully, but like they'll find a gap in your wall where you've like, forgotten to re-cement something, or, a tile was blown away. Next thing you know, you go up in your loft, or you look in like the cupboard that you've not been in for a while in the shed. And what's that? Great big dirty wasp hive. They move in, they don't pay rent, they sting you if you try and get rid of them. Name a bigger douche.
Chimpanzees, bigger douche. They literally have frat parties. Like
scat parties.
Yeah, they're put in like male bachelor groups, aren't they? And it's basically a frat house of chimps. And where are douchebags born? Frat houses.
So, with all your points, now Dan, when you first said chimp, I was thinking that's going to be hard to beat. I everything you said was already in my head.
I don't think anything else could be either a wasp or a chimp. I don't think there's anything else on the planet.
Do you think you've got the two top gold
I think they're the two.
I'd love for the audience to submit their own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything more,
Maybe
apart from hornets and like other variations of what we've said?
Sure.
Yeah, hornets are just wasp gym bros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, a wasp is the roadman, and then when he gets his life together, he gets off heroin and ends up going to the gym. He accepts Jesus into his life, but he's still a dick. That he's a hornet.
No, I think the hornet is the security guard that won't let you in.
He's like the guy covered in tattoos that was like, yeah I used to be there, man. Can't be down this road.
So
I've got ID.
I'm going to go with James on this one, only because, here's the main reason, is the biggest part of that question, apart from the animals and talking, was the douche. And I think James just went into full detail of what he thought a douche was, and then told me why that wasp was that douche. And Dan, I just don't think it was some good points in there. I liked it, and I thought it was really tough to beat. But I think that
that's why I asked you to define a douchebag
right at the end.
Yeah. I was making the decision.
I was literally saying,
no. That was at least 2 minutes before you even thought about making a decision.
It was not.
I'd already defined the douche.
However,
right at the start, and I was going, "That's exactly
while
what I mean."
While I was halfway
this
through
gym
defining
guy
douche, you went chimpanzee.
All right, I'll allow it.
So James wins this round.
Dan, with the ultimate golden retriever energy that he has.
It's like Tony the Tiger all over again.
Like, tick, 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 chimpanzee, tick, tick, tick. They throw shit at you, tick, tick.
I'll say I happily lose to a wasp, but yeah, I think they are, to be honest.
Also, to add to my point as well, you know how I said they ride mopeds?
Yeah.
What's Italian for wasp?
Vespa.
Oh.
Dang.
So we're going to end the show there.
What's Italian for chimpanzee?
Douchebag.
Nicely played, James. Nicely played.
Cool. So for my round fight 3, that was intentional. I'm going to change it up a little bit. My universe is the green universe.
Oh, shit.
Hold it there. I've got 5 names here.
We're getting a character roster.
Of green characters or characters associated with green. For example, if I were to associate a character with red, it'd be Super Mario. He's not red himself, but you kind of associate.
Okay, yeah, sure. He's the red character.
That's an association.
So we got Luigi.
I've just looked at these and they're all green anyway. It doesn't matter. Association's nothing. I'm going to read them out in this order. So on my phone here, I've got them in an order. When I say them, you have to claim it. Or
so it's yeah.
So you can't if I say number 1, you go, I want that one. That's it. That's yours.
What happens if neither of us claim any?
If neither of you claim, you're going to pick a number between 1 and 5. I've then shuffled the list and numbered them as a backup, and then you have to have that number.
This is so harsh because if I pick like number 2 and I hear number 3, 4, and 5 just get better and better and better.
So I'm also
they're not in like any particular order, are they?
They're in no particular order.
Right, okay.
Could be the best one out first.
It could be. Also, just have a think about some green characters for a second.
Yes, I've got 2 in my head right now.
Yeah. And they probably aren't on there. They might be. So, you shout claim when you want it. Number 1, The Grinch. Number 2, Shrek. Number 3, Mike Wazowski. Number 4, Kermit. Number 5, Yoshi.
Shit.
No one claimed. No. I'm really sad that no one claimed.
No. I was like, I was so tempted by 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, I was.
And then I was like,
who are you most tempted by?
Shrek.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking Shrek initially when I first thought of like green characters.
See, I had the Green Giant or the Hulk.
Yeah,
they were my other 2.
I knew you were going to think those 2, so I intentionally left them out.
Yeah.
That's why you gave us a roster.
I kind of wish I said Mike Wazowski. Can he use his friends? I don't know.
Can he use his friends? We'll discover that. Yeah. Anyway, so I've now got a shuffled list, so it's not in that order again, or it could be. It's not.
We got to pick a number.
You got to pick a number between 1 and 5. Claim your number.
3.
4.
Number 3, you've got the Grinch.
Oh, that's not a bad pull.
Number 4, you've got Kermit.
Oh, no.
Number 1 was Mike. Number 2 was Yoshi. And number 5 was Shrek.
All right, Grinch.
So, okay, Grinch versus Kermit. What we got?
Right, so is Kermit on his own? Like, he can't, like, call on Miss Piggy to, like...
No.
Okay, so he's on his own?
He's on his own.
Oh, right. Well, I'm pretty sure at one point, can't remember what film it was, because I'm not up to speed on my Muppets, but I'm pretty sure Kermit was a knight at one point.
Well, actually...
The Muppets Go Medieval?
He was.
Yes! I'm in! I've got literally a sword!
Yeah.
Is that right, or is that a Simpsons parody? I can't remember. Is it still count as canon if it's a Simpsons parody? I don't know. In that case, the Family Guy one would count, right?
No, if it's the Simpsons one, it doesn't count. If it's a Muppet-specific movie...
See, I can think of many Muppets.
No, it's Simpsons.
Oh.
See, I can think of a few Muppets things that would help you. I'm not going to say them, though.
What about, what's his name? Is it Deep Throat? Spy Kermit. Is that not what he's called? I always thought it was Deep Throat.
I'm not sure.
Oh, no. Kirk, you go while I Google Muppets.
Okay,
films.
well, the Grinch literally stole Christmas. Okay.
I mean, yeah, he is a sneaky guy.
He's a sneaky shit, and he's got his own little cave and his own little dog, and he is known as a monster. And from an early age, if you've seen the original Grinch film with Jim Carrey, he was bullied as a child, and this monster just grew and grew and grew and became powerful and more powerful. He was able to steal the sleigh and all of the gifts.
Yeah, but he was good at the end.
Yeah, but Kermit's not exactly evil, is he?
Yeah,
no, he's full of
Kermit
happiness.
is pure of heart. And I now remember, but I now have to brief Google. I remember what I was thinking of. Muppet Treasure Island. He was a pirate.
Ah.
So he's still got a sword.
So I wasn't going to tell you.
Yeah. So he's still got a sword. So also, can we talk about how if the Grinch's heart had grown 3 sizes that day, it would have killed him. like Dr. Zeus, take your prose and your rhyming shit out of this. If your heart grows 3 sizes because some little girl offers you a piece of turkey or whatever the fuck happened at the end of that film, right? I'm sorry, you would die.
Yeah, but he didn't though.
Can I just
he didn't die
at what the Grinch did to Taylor Momsen, that girl he played? Is it Little Yoo-Hoo? Is that her name? I think it's Little Yoo-Hoo or something like that. She is now like.
Why do they all have weird noses, by the way?
Because there's Dr. Zeus.
Yeah. That's his style of illustration.
Yeah, it's like mouse kind of things.
Like,
right?
Well,
why did he have green eggs and ham? Why isn't that a character? The green eggs.
Sorry, let me put it on the list.
Number 6.
Taylor Momsen is now in the Pretty Reckless. She's now in like a rock band.
Yeah. Oh, is that her?
Yeah, that's her.
No way.
Wow, we're teaching things. Yeah, that's Taylor Momsen.
Wow.
She's in Gossip Girl too, right?
Is she?
Yeah, she was. She was the young one. The one that was still at school at the time, the younger one. So the Grinch, since the Grinch, she's now gone all satanic with the whole rock metal thing, and she's got like all naked on her album covers and stuff. So if he can turn,
I didn't say anything.
Cindy Yoo-hoo, that's her name, Cindy Yoo-hoo. If he can turn Cindy Yoo-hoo into that, I'm pretty sure he could fuck Kermit up.
I mean, let's face it, Kermit literally takes a fist up the arse every time. Every time he's used. So, like, I think I think Kermit could probably deal with what the Grinch could throw at him.
That's such a good point.
Kermit's got a freaking sword because he's been to Treasure Island. He's also been to space. He's an astronaut, Kirk, which means he's pretty clever. Not just anyone gets to be an astronaut, right? He's going to come out. The Grinch is there foaming at the mouth because his heart's grown 15 times bigger and it's popping out of his chest cavity. And the Grinch's dog's just there like, what do I do about this? Right? And Kermit's just going to rock up and be like, get this. Oh, Piggy. Oh, Piggy. Yeah, and then he's going to go home and shag his wife, who is Miss Piggy.
Wow.
Is Sesame Street and the Muppets linked?
I think it's like...
They're all done by the same guy, right?
Yeah, because Big Bird was in the Muppet movie.
Oh,
yes,
was it?
yes.
So it's all
Jeff something.
Jim Henson?
Henson, yeah.
Did you know?
It's all the same universe, yeah.
Interesting fact.
Big Bird has a kill count.
No, actually better than that, right? Although, does Big Bird have a kill count?
He also did Yoda.
Did he?
Yoda's green.
Phantom Menace. And the original.
Yeah, but Yoda's an obvious one.
Yoda would beat all other
Yoda.
greens.
I mean, I don't know.
Except maybe the Hulk.
I don't know. I think Kermit could just like spread his arse and sit on Yoda.
I mean, he could have chosen so many puppets here. Like Oscar is green too.
Yeah. But anyway, to go back to my point, did you know that there's a parallel universe not too far from our own where Big Bird was a casualty in the Challenger space shuttle disaster?
What?
So, you know, the Challenger space shuttle blew up.
Yeah.
And you know, it was like a big thing in the 80s before any of us were alive.
Yeah.
But they made a big thing about like it was going to be the first teacher in space. And there was a massive disaster, and it's a real shame. And it really is a tragedy.
Teacher, right?
Really is a tragedy. Krista McAuliffe, right?
Yeah.
It really is a serious tragedy, and like a poignant moment for a lot of people where it's almost like, you know, the JFK assassination, the moon landing, you know, the where were you when questions. Where were you when Diana died? Where were you when JFK was shot? Those kind of moments. It's where were you when the Challenger blew up? Because like, all over America, kids were watching it live, and it was a real tragedy. But before they offered the teacher in space program, they were trying to work out what they could do, because basically the reason why it happened was space travel had lost its things because the Cold War was pretty much over and no one cared. We got to the moon, who cares, kind of thing, right? So they were trying to work out how to put Big Bird in the space shuttle because Sesame Street was so popular, right? So they were trying to work it out where like, they were like, well, he's just too big because you're going to have to put him in a spacesuit so the kids will believe it. But then you've also got to put the guy in Big Bird in a spacesuit so that he can actually breathe while he's in Big Bird. Like, how is this going to happen? So basically, we are like one technical engineering problem. How do you fit Big Bird in a spacesuit away from millions of children watching Big Bird go up in flames live on telly?
Wow.
And what would be the canonical, like, what would be the canon with that? Would Sesame Street just kill Big Bird off?
They talk about it in the next episode.
I think
there'd be a disaster where, like, Oscar the Grouch is stood there, like, with sunglasses on and Big Bird's in a pool of blood, CSI Miami style. Cookie Monster's there, like,
yeah, the next episode to air after that would literally be them standing around in Sesame Street having a chat, like, oh, where's Big Bird? And Big Bird would literally drop from the sky and just hit the ground. I think because it's kids as well, just stand up and be like, ooh, brush yourself off.
Could you imagine them?
Just been to space.
Bloody hell, could you imagine? Sorry, so to go back, Kermit's hardcore. The Grinch is a little bitch. Like, oh no, I don't like Christmas. Oh, boo-hoo. I'm going to go and live on my own and fucking wank myself to death up in the mountains.
Whereas Kermit literally ran his multi-million business into the ground by him almost single-handedly. And he had to recruit all of his friends to try and get something back because he wasn't famous enough himself.
Yeah, but Kermit at least admits his faults. Kermit...
But doesn't the Grinch at the end?
Eventually.
Yeah, but Kermit is a...
At what point in time does this
Kermit
fight
has
take
also
place?
been a spy, because we've all seen Kermit in the trench coat, which is how you know he's a spy. So he's got some espionage
Or a public
skills.
masturbator.
He's got some espionage skills. So he might, like, the Grinch might be sitting there going, diggity 2, how will I steal Christmas number 2? Right? Dr. Zoostar. And then next thing you know, he feels the cool press of a steel blade across his throat as Kermit sneaks down out of the shadows with his little trilby hat and trench coat on. Just goes, shush now.
Something like Pennywise.
I can't do a Kermit, leave me alone.
Dan,
You'll do nothing.
where is this fight taking place?
You'll do nothing. Kermit McGregor.
Oh god, Dan, where is this fight taking place?
In Kermit's basement.
Oh,
Why is he got home ground?
I think it's taking place during like a storm.
A storm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
like the eye of the tornado.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Like-
set a scene here.
Like, what's her name from The Wizard of Oz? Dorothy's like floating round above.
Yeah.
Oh, I
You're
don't
both-
think we're in Kansas anymore.
You both like being blown about by the wind. There's a
Right.
big storm, like waves of rainwater going across the floor.
Well, then
Like-
you're fucked because
In
you're
a-
made of fucking sponge.
Yeah, that's good.
In
Is this like?
we'll ignore that.
Are you thinking like anime style?
Yeah.
Like
And then
there's lightning crashing. It's like Dragon Ball Z, you know, the
And you're
Cell
in-
games.
Yes.
you're in like Tesco car park.
Oh, Cell, he's green from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
He'd kick ass.
Meanwhile, in Tesco, Tony the Tiger is fighting. You're in the car
It's all
park
the
in the
same.
rain.
Oh, I like this journey we're going.
a bunch of guys in orange high visors have made like a trolley
Like in
ring.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
No, not first.
Yeah, like a trolley ring, and they go fight, fight,
Yeah.
fight, fight.
Why is everyone from West Country with you?
No, we've got Kermit McGregor.
Okay, well,
Kermit is just regular.
Somebody-
Kermit is now
I want-
soaked.
I want somebody. I want
He's got an
somebody
umbrella.
to keep a track of the characters that we create on this journey.
Okay, so Kermit's soaked. He now weighs 3 times heavier than he did because he's now,
So he's
Absolutely wet.
hench.
or he can't move because his arms are little noodles.
No, it just means Kermit McGregor's gone from featherweight to bantamweight.
Now, I think a lot of a fight
Kermit was a pirate. He's used to water, man. Like, he's fine now.
on a ship. It doesn't.
You
Is,
get splashed. Like, I'm sorry, but there's no way that you're out on a pirate ship for months on end trying to find Treasure Island and you don't get a bit wet.
Is Kermit's like puppet master there as well, just lying on the ground?
Well, we're either
his arm
establishing
in
one,
the
of,
air.
we're
Either he's
establishing one of
sentient,
two worlds,
right?
aren't we? Which
Yeah,
is
I
a
think
sentient Kermit with a
sentient-
gaping arsehole.
Definitely sentient.
Or a bloke with a puppet on his arm and a sword in its hand.
That's
and he's,
really
and he's trying to fight the literal Grinch.
No, I think sentient Kermit is the way to
Sentient
go.
Kermit. Okay, well, I think a lot of that fight comes. Well, start again.
We're children.
Well, a lot of 2 people in a fight, right? A lot of that is the build-up. A lot of that is the warning, the threats, everything like that. And the Grinch can one rhyme, which is already threatening. Look at Eminem. I mean, holy shit, right?
They're not having a rap battle.
They could. Maybe that's what he does, right? However, what I'm thinking of is the precedent of the Grinch, right? So if you people
Let's
are
talk about all the times that Dr. Zeus mentioned his fighting prowess.
No, what I'm saying, right, is in
Jiu-jitsu, taekwondo,
in the land of the
karate
Who's,
too.
in the land of the Who's, right?
This guy's about to fuck up all the Who's.
But that's right. No, you can joke all you want, right? But the Who's were terrified of the Grinch. They were like, we can't go near him. We put him up on the mountain. We hope he doesn't come down. He's going to ruin
Did they
everything.
put him there or did he move there?
Either way, they're terrified of this
Or
thing up there.
he moved there because he's a dick.
Sure, but no one likes him, and
You moved
no one,
all the way to Bulkington. That doesn't mean we don't like you. We've not put you there, Kirk.
So what I'm trying to say, James, what I'm trying to say is that in Edward Scissorhands, people are scared of that guy. In Texas Chainsaw, people are scared of that guy.
No, wait. In Edward Scissorhands, they literally hire him to basically be a wet nurse.
Until he's banished into his castle.
Yeah, but that's because he
In the
genuinely
snow.
did something.
Does that sound familiar? The Grinch.
The Grinch didn't have a castle. He had a shit house. At best, it was a 2-bed semi.
In the snow. What I'm saying is his president is if people had never heard of the Who's, but then they heard this story that came out, that this terrifying thing that tormented an entire town, Kermit's going to be shaking in his boots.
So what you're saying is the public will be behind Kermit because he's the hero in this.
But Kermit will be shitting himself with this gaping arsehole that he has.
Kermit the astronaut, the space hero, the pirate savior who found Treasure Island, who, let me Google some of his other many triumphs.
Can I genuinely don't know this. I would like to ask a question about the Grinch. I don't know what your knowledge on the Grinch is.
It's not a lot.
The guy who went to Manhattan and took it.
Brilliant.
The guy who was Scrooge?
Was he Scrooge? Oh,
no, that was Alfred. What's his name?
Who was he then in it?
Wasn't he the main guy, Mr.
Was he the narrator?
No, he was the main dude, wasn't he? The guy that works for Scrooge.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Jacob Marley? No, that was the ghost.
No, that was one of the ghost guys. Into the sea, something.
Irrelevant.
He did The Wizard of Oz, where I think he was Dorothy. Or was he the lion?
Still irrelevant.
What are you asking, Dan?
The Grinch, right, is a Who, correct?
Yes.
He was the Scarecrow.
Irrelevant. The Grinch is a Who, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
The Who's in Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah.
Are they the same Who's as
I think so.
the Who's? So is he really, really tiny?
Oh my God. That's it. You're screwed, mate.
Does his Who world live on a speck?
If he is the Who lives on the top of a flower and his snowy mountain is a white daisy petal, Kermit will just shove that right up his puppet hole.
I think I just lost.
I don't like how quickly you accepted that was the truth.
Okay, no, do you know what? I'm coming back here. I'm coming back. We're going to come back Thanos style, and the Grinch is going to go right up his little arsehole, massive arsehole that Kermit has, and destroy his insides by
with what?
Jumping on things. I don't know.
You're floundering.
He doesn't have I don't think he has the apparent strength of Ant-Man.
No, he could bring the sledge. Go through Kermit's system.
So if the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes, does that mean he had a normal human size heart?
No,
in a microscopic body.
Oh man, I don't know what to do here.
No, I would like to work under the assumption that they are of relative size. Like,
I'll allow, if you're happy for that.
I mean, I think I've won anyway because I'm sure his name's Deep Throat when he's the sneaky guy. Just
he's one on irrelevant facts that may or may not be real.
To the throat.
He has a cutlass, not a switchblade.
Yeah, I mean, either that. I mean, what, you know, the Grinch is sledging down to town, right?
No, they're in a supermarket car park, actually.
Right, okay. So Kermit,
his sledge is a trolley.
So, okay, Kermit, having the ability to be a pirate, can clearly ride the roof of somebody's Ford Mondeo like a pirate ship, jump off it, sword, head, done.
Fatality.
How would you counter that sword swipe? How would the Grinch? Would he just duck?
The problem is the Grinch's main skills are sneakiness, right?
Yeah.
So if it was, I don't know, if it was like a Assassin's Creed style, like you had to sneak round and like if the objective of their duel was how many unsuspecting people can you take out, fair play.
If he was Grinchio Auditore, then we're good. We're great. But I mean, the Grinch. Can the Grinch at least have his razor? He has a little razor thing that he like trimmed his beard with.
Wasn't it an electric one? It wasn't like a cutthroat.
Yeah, you can get battery packs now. It's fine. Like he brings his razor.
It'll be fully charged.
He brings his razor.
So what? Like Kermit gets a bald patch.
You made a sponge, man.
No, I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you, the Grinch, unless he has the element of surprise, which he clearly doesn't when they built a ring.
Let me just put one more thing out there. I'll say it again. The Grinch stole Christmas. He's king of thievery.
Yeah.
Whatever you bring, he's stealing. He's stolen your guitar. He's stolen your little schmitar from your pirate escapades. He's stolen everything. He's stolen the bloke that's in you.
I just want to say how you pronounce scimitar.
Schmitar.
Schmitar.
Schmiter.
Schmite me, almighty Schmiter. Well, we're crossing Jim Carrey references. Hang on. He'd steal everything he has and just stab you with it.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a giant gaping hole that he can just sit on you with. Like Kermit could just envelop the Grinch and then digest him.
His hand, yeah.
And then
Not the rest of him.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? Because then Kermit, like you try and punch Kermit, you're just punching your own hand.
Well, not if you punch him in the face.
I reckon it'll just... they'll just like eat it.
I reckon the Grinch could rip Kermit's head off, you know? Not to take sides here.
If you're talking about the actual puppet, but we're not, are we? We're talking about a realist... Because
well, then he doesn't have a big puppet hole in his butt, does he?
Yeah, true.
You can't have it both ways.
Oh, dang.
Okay, but still he's got a freaking sword and he's been to space.
Which I've stolen.
And you can't steal his dreams. And the Grinch can't steal it when he's staring him down like... You know, it's like we're talking about blood sports here, guys. We're not talking about like, you know, he's at a festival and someone wants to nick his wallet.
The Grinch definitely is more hench. Kermit has noodle limbs. At best, he can just about pluck a guitar. At best,
banjo, isn't it?
A band, yes. Even less intimidating.
I mean, in Family Guy, canonically speaking, Kermit has a shotgun.
I mean,
it's not Family Guy.
He's also Liam Neeson. That doesn't count.
In comparison, structural integrity-wise, a banjo is weaker than a guitar, right?
Yeah, it's a tight skin across a rim,
and it's like less...
It depends. Electric guitar, hands down, would win.
Yeah,
I would say because of the sheer amount of metal work on a banjo, yes, you might puncture the skin.
Yeah, I was thinking more the back of it.
Swipe, if you were to take like a side swipe, like use it almost like an axe, that would do some damage.
Yeah,
interesting. I've got a sledge.
Yeah, which is going to be great on the asphalt.
Pulled by a dog that you can't have.
It's a storm. It's raining. I could put things underneath it. I don't know. Man, I'd chuck presents at... Well, the Grinch would chuck presents.
Yeah.
And anything inside those presents is also his. Let's not forget.
Mm.
So he could open those presents he's already stolen. And in there could be a few sharp, blunt objects.
Basically, he's playing Lucky Dip. He's like, I'm going to get you with.
Granted, he could
bring out electric set.
That would hurt. But he could bring out a teddy bear, yeah, for sure. But eventually, he's going to find something.
Okay. To be honest, this whole time I don't want James. I keep flip flopping to which one. I want to add one more element in.
Okay,
just to make it a little bit exciting. I hope you're ready because it's gonna. You get a tag team partner and it's one of the other options. Take them.
Shrek.
Yoshi.
Oh,
take Yoshi.
Yeah, Yoshi's the deep pull. Mike Wazowski's shit. Mike Wazowski's basically an eyeball.
Okay. And you've got... Why would they make...
Okay, so Kermit, right, could sit on Shrek's hand and then Shrek could like punch you and Kermit could like one-two you at the same time. And
Shrek has some combat skills.
We know that Shrek, canonically speaking, Shrek has combat skills.
Yes.
And what about that time Shrek was dressed up as a knight?
That's not part of it. He's not always dressed up as a knight.
Yeah, but neither's Kermit always dressed up as a pirate.
I make the rules.
Right, okay. But Shrek has layers. So, like, you'd kill him, but you just strip off the top layer. Also, he was king at several points.
Right.
So, even if you killed him, you'd be killed. Treason. So
you almost had something going there.
Worst case, it's a draw. Because, yeah, like even if you somehow manage to overpower literal ogre, who's also king, and you killed him, guess what? You go in jail. Treason.
What? And who's going to get you from far, far away? We're in Tesco.
Lord Farquaad. Princess Fiona's also green.
I have Yoshi. Okay. Grinch has Yoshi. He will simply, just like in Super Mario Brothers, will ride Yoshi. Yoshi will eat
to
those
allow
apples.
It to get double jumps.
He'll get double jumps and he'll go right down onto that Kermit. He can eat Kermit. Yoshi will eat Kermit.
But Shrek can literally, like proven experience, Shrek can wrestle. Like, so, yeah, the Grinch might come in and do that double jump. Bang, Shrek's there. Double fucking leg kick. Drops him. Flops on top of him. Then Kermit, once again with the sword. Done.
Did Shrek kill that dragon, though?
He chose not to.
Nope, he couldn't. He couldn't
chose
kill
not,
that dragon.
He chose not to because his best friend wanted to knob it.
Not at the time.
Not at the time.
Well, I don't know. At what point did Donkey catch the feels?
Yeah. So he's compassionate as well, but you don't fuck with him. Like, look at the start. Yeah. Like, Shrek could literally take a shit and knock everyone out. Then Shrek's on the field on his own, baby. Because Shrek don't knock himself out when he shits. But Shrek could take a dump on the edge of it. Boom. It's like mustard gas. Everyone's just there. And then he just goes around and picks them off, finishes them off.
Shrek is begging Yoshi not to take his mushrooms from his swamp. From his swamp.
Shrek's Yoshi swamp.
He's begging. He's on his tears, basically crying like he was to Lord Farquaad.
No, because we're not in the swamp. We're in Tesco's.
We're in Tesco's.
The mushrooms don't exist, mate.
Damn, he's going to...
Tony the Tiger.
There are some mushrooms in Tesco.
Because Tony the Tiger's in there having it out with Mr. Muscle right now.
But
you can't get to the vegetable aisle.
Currently wiping the floor with Mr. Muscle.
Also, mushrooms aren't a vegetable, they're a fungus.
Brilliant. Right. Final, this is going to tip the scales. If this was Mortal Kombat, what would Kermit's and the Grinch's finishes be? Describe them to me.
Kermit, right? Kermit would like use his little noodle legs to double kick someone in the chin, so then they start doing that swaying thing that they do, just when you're about to fatality them. Right? Then he jumps back, so there's a bit of distance, does a double flip, lands, gaping hole on the geezer's head, and just swallows him whole. And then farts, and a skeleton comes out.
From the gaping hole.
Yeah. Of one. Just give me my points now.
The Grinch will jump, somersault, right?
It's copying him.
Open up his arsehole.
The Grinch steals finishing moves too, as well as Christmas. Right? He jumps, somersaults.
No, that's good.
During the somersault, he transforms. He transforms into a Santa suit. This sledge comes out of nowhere, impales Kermit the Frog, and just absolutely crushes him. And then, right at the end, the Grinch picks out the tiniest little present, and Kermit's head just pops out.
Oh, we're both really good.
Go on then, Dan. Let's finish it. Finish him. As in the round. And Kirk's day.
Yeah, I think throughout that I was kind of awarding points for certain aspects.
How many times did you flip the coin?
I haven't got it.
I've lost the coin again. No,
Kirk's got the coin.
It's there on the floor.
Brilliant. Yeah, I was kind of giving points to each one when you raised a good point, or take it away when you said a stupid one.
Did I lose?
James, you do get the point for this one.
Yes!
Only because you're... Weirdly enough, your Shrek argument was way better than Kirk's Yoshi's
There's
argument.
not a lot you can do with Yoshi.
No, I mean,
you could have brought up the fact that he's literally a Smash Bros. Character.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good point. And couldn't he just eat Kermit, turn him into an egg, and shit him out?
Yeah.
GG, bro. GG.
Yeah. I like your finisher better, though. Okay, maybe not the actual finisher, but the line, he steals finishers as well. The Grinch who stole your fatality.
So that was it for another episode of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild? James, you're in the lead.
Yep, and it's going to stay that way, boys. I promise you that.
Dan in very close second, and myself dead last with a single point. This is going horrendously.
Don't worry, Kirk. I'm sure you'll catch up.
I think we should add an element where if people want to be like, nah, this person should have won that round, we can have like a separate score sheet.
Okay, so like an audience.
Yeah, like an
epic rap battle.
A little meaningless, irrelevant thing. But also a little bit fun.
Yeah, okay, cool. Fine. Who won? Who's next? You decide. Let's put that through. I like that.
For me. No, you. You'll do nothing.
Hooray.
That was a good ending.